The United States MLS is currently ranked as the 10th biggest league in world football and is the number one ranked league in the CONCACAF region. It is home to some of the very best homegrown talents that have been developed by the club's academies. In today's video, I'm going to take a look at some of the very best American-born wonder kids that currently play their football in the MLS. Before I get into that though, please don't forget to like today's video and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Right then, let's jump into Football Manager 26 and show you some American wonder kids. The first player in today's video is a 16-year-old central midfield wonder kid who begins the game at LAFC. This is Jude and he's valued at $750,000 to £2.3 million. He starts the game as a defensive midfielder and can also cover as an orthodox midfielder too. Looking at his attributes, he scores highly in acceleration, agility, pace and stamina. In the mentals, it is aggression, decisions, teamwork, vision, and in those technicals, it is first touch, passing and technique. At the age of 16, he is set up to develop very quickly across the first 5 years of his career. Make sure you try and pick him up early in your FM26 save. The next player that we're going to take a look at is a 17-year-old attacking player who begins the game as part of New York Red Bull senior team. He is valued at $1.6 to £4.9 million. This is Julian. He starts the game predominantly as a striker but can also play on the left wing also. And looking at his attributes, he's set up to develop very quickly. In terms of the physicals, he scores highly for acceleration, agility, natural fitness and pace. In the mentals, he has standouts of composure, concentration, decisions and vision. And then in the technicals, those important attributes for a striker are 11 finishing, 12 dribbling, 11 first touch and 12 for technique. This is a player that I think can go on to become a very good wonder kid if you pick him up early in the game and help with his development. The next player that we're going to take a look at is Maximo Carrizo. This is a 17-year-old midfielder who begins the game as part of New York City's first team. He's valued at $1.2 to £3.6 million. Looking at his player map, you can see he's a player that plays predominantly as a orthodox midfielder, can also play as an attacking midfielder, and can even drop further back in the pitch and go further up the pitch if you need him to. In terms of those attributes, his physicals, standouts of acceleration, agility, pace and stamina. In the mentals, it's determination, flair, vision and work rate. And in the technicals, it's dribbling, first touch, passing and technique that are standouts. This player is a bit of a rough diamond. You're going to need to help him develop. He's going to turn into a wonder kid. Next up, we are looking at a 17-year-old attacking player who may be familiar to Manchester United fans. This is Nimfasha Berchimas. He's 17 years old, plays for Charlotte FC and is valued at £1.7 to £5 million. Recently, during a trip to England, he was training with Manchester United, even scored in a friendly game against Burnley. He's a player that plays off of either wing, mainly on the left, can also play on the right, and also play centrally if you need him to. Looking at his attributes at the start of FM26, he has acceleration, agility and pace that are all standouts. In the mentals, it's determination, flair and work rate. And in those technicals, with his attributes for his attacking part of his game, it's dribbling, finishing, first touch and technique that score highly too. This is a player that you want to check out early in your saves to see if what Manchester United are seeing can develop in Football Manager 26. The next player in today's video is Chase Adams. This is a 17-year-old attacking player who plays for Columbus Crew. At the start of Football Manager 26, he's valued at $1.1 to £3.3 million. Chase Adams recently made headlines by scoring 10 goals in a youth international game. He starts the game playing mainly as a striker but can also cover on either wings. Looking at his attributes, he's set up for great development. In terms of the physicals, he scores highly for his acceleration, his balance and his pace. In the mentals, it's just decisions, and he will need to be more well-rounded in the mentals. But in the technicals, he has 12 for finishing, 14 for dribbling, and 13 for passing. There is a lot of potential with this player. Make sure you check him out, try and sign him to get that development out of him. The next player that we're going to take a look at is a 17-year-old left-back who begins Football Manager 26 playing for Atlanta United, and he's valued at £750,000 to £2.3 million. This is Dominik Chong. He plays for Atlanta as a left-back, can also cover as a left wing-back, and can push further up the pitch on the left-hand side also. Now, looking at him at the beginning of Football Manager 26, it may not look like he is much, but I'm pretty sure there is plenty of development to come. In terms of the attributes, in the physicals, his standouts are acceleration, agility, jumping reach, pace. In the mentals, he only has standout really of work rate, but he scores well for vision, teamwork, decisions, and anticipation. And in the technicals, it is dribbling and technique that are standouts there. Don't be fooled by what you see at the start of the game. I am pretty sure this is a player that if you sign and develop, maybe loan out and bring back later on, you're going to get a player that you can rely on for the next 10 years. The next player that we're going to take a look at is Christopher Cupps. He's a 17-year-old central defender who plays for Chicago Fire. He's valued at the start of Football Manager 26 at £2.2 to £6.4 million. He stands at 6'3" and will be a standout central defender. Looking at his attributes, you can see already he's set up to take big strides forward. In terms of his physicals, he has great acceleration, agility, jumping reach, and pace. In the mentals, it is teamwork, determination, aggression, leadership that all stand out. And in the technicals, he scores well for tackling, passing, and heading. This is a wonder kid that I have seen move to Europe and end up at clubs like Dortmund. Make sure you don't miss out. Sign him early on in your FM26 save. And the final player on today's video is going to be Peyton Miller. This is a 17-year-old left-back who plays for New England Revolution. He's valued at the start of the game at £3.3 to £9.8 million. He plays predominantly as a left-back, but can also play as a left wing-back, can also cover as a makeshift centre-back. And crazily, on the player map, you can see you can also play him as a striker or a right winger. Bit bizarre. But looking at the attributes, you can see why they are willing to play him in so many different positions. In the physicals, 15 acceleration, 17 for natural fitness, and 18 for pace. In the mentals, it's aggression, anticipation, determination, positioning, and work rate. And in the technicals, there is work for him to do, but he scores highly for dribbling and technique. He's a player that I have seen move to Europe and go on to bigger and better things. Make sure that you check him out at least once in Football Manager 26. So there we go then. Those are some American players that are playing in the MLS that I think you should be checking out in Football Manager 26. Make sure that you go and try and sign them early on in your saves so you can aid their development and turn them into wonder kids. Let me know in the comment section down below, are any of these players on your radar? Will you go out and try and sign any of them? Also, don't forget to like today's video and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel.